Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Kashif Kamran, your SBL tutor, and today I am investigating how can you excel your technical marks in SBL, and this is in view of the SBL December 23 examiner report. Now to excel your technical marks in SBL, let's see what is the examiner perspective from the examiner report. Number one, demonstration of technical knowledge alone or explanation of a theory does not score marks in SBL. You need to be very clear of that. Rote learning has no space in SBL. Learning a model, reproducing a model, learning a theory, reproducing a theory, knowledge alone is useless. So you need to come out of that if you want to really excel in your success in SBL and want to fetch really good technical marks. That's number one. Number two, generally, up to 2 marks are available for each well-developed point in SBL. But how would you fetch these 2 marks per well-developed point? However, candidates are reminded that the 2 marks will only be awarded when a relevant point has been successfully applied and developed. You will get 2 marks, but you have to do two things. Number one, it has been successfully applied, and number two, it has been developed. Applied to the context of the case, applied to meeting the expectation of the task, applied to the case study. So it has to be applied, number one. Number two, it has to be developed in sufficient length. Each well-developed point in SBL is 3 to 4 sentences long. Anything less than that is not well developed. 3 to 4 sentences, right? Not 3 to 4 lines. There is a difference between a line and a sentence. Sentence is where you put a full stop. 3 to 4 sentences long is the definition of a well developed point. That's the depth. That's the depth you need to pass. Depth is one thing. Connection to the case is number two thing. So application is the connection you have with the case study, and developed is basically the depth. So two things are needed, right? One is connection, one is depth, and that is equal to 2 marks. Connection plus depth, sorry. So some examples, how can you bring that application? How can you bring that development? Number one, evaluating how significant the point is. Number two, using information provided that relates the point directly to the organization. Whatever you are writing, try to relate that with the organization. If you're writing an advantage, try to relate that advantage to the organization. Disadvantage, relate that with an organization. Consequence, relate that with an organization. So relating things to the organization is how you are applying. Commenting on how significant the point is from the organization perspective, whether it is a strength or a weakness or is an opportunity or a threat, whatever. Number three, explaining the consequence if asked for to the organization in the case study. So don't just write journal consequences, try to think about consequences to the given organization. And number four, supporting the point made with relevant examples from the case material, not journal examples, but quoting the case. For example, you're saying, as mentioned by the human resource director, or as said by the finance director. Try to bring the case in your answer by giving examples. If any director has given any statement, you can quote that statement as an example and then develop your answer. So quoting things from the case study as examples where needed, where necessary to develop the depth of your point, it's fine. So these are some fundamentals you can do for the correct application and the development of a point which is worth 2 marks. So again, it's two things. Number one, the connectivity with the case application, and number two is the depth. So that's how you need to go about it. Then lastly, candidates Often reproduce or repeat information taken from exhibits with no attempt to add value. So you just copy paste the information from the exhibits into your word response area, and you do no effort to add value to it. So you're just padding up the answer. If you're just padding up the answer and you're not doing any evaluation, you're not doing any analysis, you're not developing the point, you're not connecting the point, you're not relating the point to the organization, alone copy paste is just padding up your answers, and that's a failure in SBL. So I hope you will follow this checklist to excelling technical marks effectively for your upcoming exams in March 24. Wish you all success. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz.